you might know that we've been trying our hardest to live chat with you on YouTube. It's just not working. Yosh and I spent the rest of the day walking around to the different internet providers asking who has the best Wi-Fi in town. And, you know, the cafes that they suggested we went to and tried them all out, and they were terrible. So I just don't think it's possible for us to actually do a proper live chat, but we still wanted to answer your questions, and we wanted to answer our Patreon's questions as well. So we thought we'd do a live video. So we're not going to edit. We're not going to edit anything on this video, not even that. We're just going to chop it up and put some little screens in there, but it's all just going to be raw and live filming.
So this is Sailing Nandji live and frothing, kind of live.
Sort of live.
Sort of
live frothing. First of all, we want to say a big thank you to our patrons. You guys make our sailing channel possible, and none of this would be able, you know, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. So thank you to our patrons for supporting us and keeping us floating.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who stayed with us all morning, trying to get this live stream working and sending through your questions and queries and that. And we've written a few of them down, and we'll try to answer them as well throughout this little half live chat.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it's not quite the same, but we can only do what you can do. So
that's right. Pacific Internet is Pacific Internet.
Alright, so I guess first of all we're going to answer some of our patrons' questions that they've sent through. The first one is from Olaf. Hi Olaf. He wants to know what is wrong with the motor.
Well, it's more the question of what is working properly with the motor.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it is an old engine, you know. It's an 89 engine, so it's only got 3,000 hours, but it's still an old motor, so you've got to expect things to break down, and I try to stay on top of maintenance as good as I can, but of course things go wrong. But
so we don't actually know what's wrong with the motor yet. We had some guys come out, some professionals come out and inspect it, and there's a small thing that's wrong that we and we're kind of eliminating things that are wrong. So we've reordered a new part for that, and then if it's still got problems, then we're gonna fix the bigger problem. Yeah, so
there's a possibility of a rebuild, but fingers crossed that that's not the deal. It might have just been a little Yoshi boo-boo, but we're going to cover it all in the next episode, so we don't want to answer it too in-depthly just now.
Yeah, we don't want to give away the plot.
Yeah, you have to watch the next one.
Yeah, so that'll be covered, but we still don't actually know what's wrong with it yet. So.
Fingers crossed it was just a little boo-boo that I didn't do.
And he wants to know, did the inverter burn out? It was overloading, so like it had two plugs, and one of them didn't work anymore, and the other one, every time we plugged something in, it would overload, cook out, and then shut itself off. So we weren't able to charge anything for 2 weeks. We couldn't use our laptop, so that really sucked.
And the charger wasn't working with the laptop as well.
Yeah, the charger wasn't working. So we had two things wrong there. And it was also a 1,000 watt inverter, and so it was using a lot of electricity, and it was unnecessary. So it
was a really old inverter too. So like these days they're a lot more efficient. So like the new one that we've got now is like 92% efficient, whereas I reckon that thing would have been about 50 or 60. It just all would have got wasted into heat and friction sort of stuff. So
there's definitely time for a new one.
Yeah.
But I'm totally spewing because we had a choice in the shop of like a heavier, higher wattage inverter or this one that we have, and there was like a big price difference. And I thought, you know what do we need to charge? So we went through everything, and the only things that wouldn't be able to charge by the one that we have are my hair, like my hair dryer and my hair straightener. And me in the shop, I'm like, oh, I don't use them, I won't need it. And then when I got home, I was like,
I'll just try.
And then I couldn't charge, and none of them would turn on. I was devastated. And now I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to have like pretty hair. I'm just going to always look like this.
Well, that's life, baby.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's much better though, and the efficiency on this one, we can charge everything. You can utilise everything except the hairdryer.
Idiot. Alright, the next question is from Nick B. Hi Nick.
Do you want me to read you one?
Okay.
Alright, do you have long-term travel plans, or are you just making it up as you go?
Well, good question. Nandji's our house. We want to continue sailing until we can't sail anymore.
Indefinitely.
And we have a 6-month sailing plan of where we're going, and then after that we kind of make it up as we go. So we'd love to circumnavigate, but you know, there's lots of factors that need to be considered there. So we just kind of take it as it comes, and once we've done the plan that we have, then we'll stop and reassess and go from there.
Yeah, pretty much spot on. So we got a plan for 6 months, and then yeah,
that's it.
You've nailed it.
Yeah,
you've nailed it. All right, well, your turn.
Okay. Rick and Shares. Hi, Rick and Shares. Thanks for the question.
Legends.
Out of all your journeys, what was your biggest froth moment?
Ooh-wee. Biggest froth moment. I was pretty stoked. Yeah, the dolphins. When we were sailing, dolphins, that was definitely a massive froth moment. Like, that was sailing along with thousands of dolphins kicking around you. That was pretty frothy.
That was amazing.
Oh yeah, we were screaming. You were screaming.
I was screaming.
You were loving it. And also, I reckon another biggest froth moment was getting some good waves. And it was always a bit of a dream on the boat to sail somewhere, anchor next to it on an outer reef, get barreled, happy days. And we achieved that. So
you like that in the New Caledonia?
Yeah,
that was yours?
in New Caledonia, yeah. That was a big froth moment. Like, just paddling off of Nandji, basically. I was taking the tender, but we could have just plonked Nandji on the shoulder. That's the next one, is to put Nandji right on the shoulder. But yeah, that was a big froth moment, getting some big waves off of Nandji.
For me, I think it was about our 3rd ever sail. We sailed out to the Great Barrier Reef and we anchored out there, and we had like a whole week full of glassy days, and that was like, you know, that was a real introduction to live aboard life, and it was just absolutely surreal for us, and incredible. You know, when you can't tell the ocean from the sky and it's just so glassy and beautiful, it was like that for days on end, and it was just like it was just so surreal.
That's probably another good froth moment, was because when we were really learning how to sail, it was like on our 3rd sail, I think. When we first sailed to the outer Great Barrier Reef, so that's like 100k offshore, and so when we first did that, I think once, because there's the inner islands that are like 20 miles off, and then there's another 20-25 miles out to the reef, and I think when we left those islands, that was like leaving our comfort zone, so that was into the next big area. That was a big challenge, and that was a pretty big froth moment. I agree with that.
Yeah.
There's been a few.
Yeah, there's been a few. But yeah, thanks for the question.
Yeah, man.
Next one we have Russ and Kelly. Do you want to read it?
Yep. Ooh, do you miss Marley being on board, and do you plan to sail with him on passage in the future?
A big yes, we miss Marley being on board. He's not like other dogs. He doesn't sit in the backyard and wait for us to come home from work every day. He's with us 24 hours a day, and without him it's made like a huge chunk in our lives, and yeah, we hate that he's not with us, and we're doing everything that we can to get him back to us. So definitely miss him. It's a different boat without Marley around. We still got his bed set up and his bowl sitting there ready and waiting for him. Because like Banana said, when we first got him, we were in our bus driving around, so he's always been right by our side. So for the 4 years that he's 4 years old, and for the 4 years that we've had him, he's been right by us. So the last 3 months without him, it's been really difficult. But he is being really well looked after. The carer that he's with absolutely adores him, and she said she's going to find it really difficult to say goodbye to him. So he's being really well looked after, and we are working really hard to get him back to us. To allow Marley to travel, it has been an absolute nightmare. I guess we're going to make a video about our experience as well. But we have a pet travel agent that's helping us, and we're making progress, and he's going to actually be back on the boat really soon, so you'll be able to see his little face
little
again.
Head again. Little head. Yeah, he'll be back on board before Christmas, so we're in the depths of the paperwork and the documentation at the moment, and it's getting sorted really goodly, must say.
And
off of that's what Benita did a post on Instagram the other day about asking if there's anyone in Honiara in the Solomons.
That's
To assist.
So if you don't check us out on Instagram, it's a good way to keep up to date with everything that's going on. And yeah, that was about Marley. So, and the other part of the question was, do you plan to sail on passages with him in the future? Yes, we do. It's going to be challenging, and we're going to do our best to make sure he's comfortable. But yes, he will be sailing with us.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yep, he's we basically wished at the start when we left we could have left with him. That would have been the ultimate, but everything just was not organised and ready by then.
Yeah.
So we had to leave when we left, or else we would have missed our window of leaving. So that's why he ended up staying behind. But yeah, for the last few months we've been
missing him so bad.
Missing him like crazy. He's like a third person, you know. Like, so if we're annoyed, we get shitty at each other or something.
We
don't get shitty, but sometimes, you know, you just want to go. You want a boys' day. So me and Marley would just disappear and we'd have a boys' day. You know, like just taking the tender over to the beach and let him run around and that, having a fang.
Just watching him enjoying himself on the beach is so good. Like,
it's good fun.
If you haven't ever seen a whippet, like just cutting loose, it's like the happiest thing in the world. They are just frothers. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so good to watch.
Yeah.
We miss it.
Miss the little legend. Yeah. All right.
We had some questions from people that were in the live chat. One was about the Windvane.
Yeah.
We've ordered the Windvane, and we're sitting ducks at the moment, waiting for it to rock up.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that we did have engine issues, because it means that we could get the Windvane sent here, and then so we're not exactly just waiting on the vane to rock up, we're waiting on parts as well. So it's perfect timing just to get all parcels and stuff sent to us. So
yeah,
we ended up choosing a Hydra vane. We figured that the Hydra vane would be the best sort of wind vane for us, because Nandji's got a lot going on the stern. And so, because we got the davits and the solar panels and the swim ladder and it's the only wind vane that let us put it like off center, so you don't have to put it in the middle of the boat. And we've got so much going on back there, we didn't want to have to like recreate the whole stern. So that was. We're not sponsored by Hydrovane at all or anything like that. We just really like the product. We really like their product, and so. Being able to offset it, and then because it's not so big and bulky as well, that was another good deal, because the transom of Nandji is really only small in the area that we need to mount it. Yeah. So it just really matches Nandji, really. And
you can use it as a secondary rudder as well.
Yeah, that's a little added bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another pro for the Hydrovane was that you don't have lines running to the cockpit, and because we're a centre cockpit, there'll just be extra ropes kicking around everywhere. So we don't have to do that. We don't need to attach it to the wheel in any way. So that makes life a lot easier as well.
Yeah.
And I should be able to mount it with ease. Should be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the story of the Hydrovane. But it was due to be delivered on Thursday, and it just got delayed till Monday.
So how long did it take? It's like
island time at its finest.
No, but it can go halfway around the world in like 2 days, and then as soon as it gets here, it takes takes a whole week to get from like one spot just around the corner. You know, like.
So we're like UK to US, US to Hawaii, Hawaii to Australia, all within 3 days. From Australia to Vanuatu, it's taken
2 days, was it?
We're up to 6 now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was here.
No, it hasn't been scanned yet. So it's still in transit.
I was guessing that the Hydrovane is in Vanuatu, and it's going to take a week until they scan it, and then they just deliver it around the corner.
But it says it's still in transit, it's probably sitting in the corner.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Yes, very excited though.
You know what, I don't know if you've noticed, but my appearance has definitely dropped in while I'm sailing, because we're hand steering and it's just so exhausting. Well, it's not that bad, but like, yeah. Anyway, so I can't.
You're right.
So terrible. Oh. Thanks for putting up with some of the footage of me sailing is hideous.
It's beautiful.
So it's not.
That's you and your element. You and your happiest.
You guys have seen me at my worst, so.
Yeah. What's the go, boss?
I think Windvane,
you want to talk about the previous episode?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, which one? The volcano?
Let's talk about the volcano.
Yeah, the volcano.
Wow. That's
Next
probably
level.
one of the most amazing natural things I've ever seen. I've climbed a volcano in Chile and snowboarded down it, and this here took the cake over the top of that. So,
Yeah.
actual lava.
It's like alive. Like, it's alive. And it's
one of the
it rumbles,
scariest
your
things
feet
I've
rumble,
ever-
and people live at the bottom of it, and it's just crazy.
It's like a constant earthquake, like every 15 minutes, and then it, like when it blows and just whistles, like you need to have earmuffs on because it's so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary and crazy, and that is an absolute wonder of the world. So if you're ever in Vanuatu, go to Tanna Island just to go to that volcano because.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask what they used to make sacrifices to the volcano, and I didn't want to ask what they sacrificed. I'm pretty sure it wasn't coconuts and bananas though.
It's normally the pretty ladies or the virgins.
Oh, is it? Just throw a couple of virgins in and ask for rain.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we didn't tell you guys, but when we first went to Tanna Island, everyone was talking about the fact that it hadn't rained there for 5 months, and people were suffering, their crops were suffering, the farming was suffering, and there's lots of dust, and it was very dry, and on the day that we actually sailed out of there, that night, we didn't get to see their faces, but it started raining, and
it was wet.
Oh, I can just imagine the smiles on the people's faces that they finally had rain. It was just amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah. That they would have been so stoked because whoever we spoke to, they were always like, "Oh, it's so dry, so dry."
Everyone talked about how dry it was, and they had no water. So yeah, that was a really cool thing that we didn't get to cover in the video.
Yeah. What else was there? What was in the other questions? We've got questions from our mums that we'd like to answer.
Yes. Alright.
So we decided that because we'll have questions from our patrons and then answer the questions on the live feed. But since there's not many questions popping up on our feed right now, we'll go to mums' questions.
All right. I've got a question from your mum.
Yes.
Are you ever coming home?
Well, mother dear, we're not in any rush to. No, we're not coming home for Christmas. We'll be on the boat and sailing, and Marley's coming to us for Christmas. So, we're in no rush to head back to Australia, put it that way. Yes. Question from Benita's mum. How do you cope when your plans all come undone, i.e. weather, engine problems?
Well, I guess plans change and you just roll with the punches. Like, you can only do what you can do, and it's like, well, if I can't go there, there's no point. If you can't change something, why worry about it? It's just the way that it is. You just
that's right. You just deal with what you got.
Plan. And that's what, I think it's something that you learn being living on a boat, that you don't really have a lot of control over what happens. You just need to go with the flow, and you can't go against the grain. So
that's why we don't have a schedule, and that's why we only have a 6-month sailing plan, because in that 6 months we have a goal to reach a certain destination, but we've been here for 3 weeks, so
things change.
Change.
And it's, sailing to a schedule is the worst thing that you can possibly do, because, you're putting, it might not be the right time to leave, but you feel that you have to leave and you put yourself in danger. So that's the worst thing.
And there's more risk, so.
Yeah, you just.
No schedule. No plans. Just cruise.
Just make it up as the weather goes.
Yeah, that's right. So have a general plan and a general idea, but whatever happens around it.
Yeah, that's how we sail. I'm sure everyone's different, but that's how we do it.
That's how we like to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any other questions that you saw on the live chat? I can't really think.
No, it was really about the
Windvane. Yeah.
A lot of people wanted to know about the Windvane. People wanted to know about when was the Volcano episode. Yeah. How long ago was that? Did we film it?
3 weeks ago?
4
weeks ago?
Probably 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago.
We were on Tanna.
Yeah, and then...
This is our 3rd week in Villa now, so...
Yeah. So
yeah, so all the last 4 episodes, I suppose, about Tanna and our sailing here, and now we're in Villa. That's because we had 2 weeks where we had nothing. So,
yeah, so we
that
weren't
was on
able
Tanna.
to. We had no laptop for 2 weeks, so we weren't able to create anything.
We weren't able to edit any videos. So yeah, that's what we've been catching up on. But yeah, we're basically about 2 weeks in front of filming to what we put out in a video.
Yeah, so it's quite recent. It's very
basically
recent.
up to date.
Yeah, it's pretty much up to date.
Especially since we don't have internet in many places. So since now we've been in Villa, we've been able to upload a lot. So we've caught up a lot because of that reason. But yeah, we'd like to sit a couple of weeks in front, I suppose. So we, just in case we can't upload somewhere, we could send it to Australia or something to, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blabbering. But yeah, that's it. So we're basically up to date. About 2 weeks in front now.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. There's a bit of a story here that I'd like that Benita's going to discuss.
Oh. All right. Well.
Talk about your running.
Okay. Well, I like to run every now and then, and it's like 35 degrees, and I picked a really bad time to go for a run, but I just really felt like I needed to burn some energy, so I put my running clothes on, and one of them, like,
I have a singlet and her shorts.
A singlet, like a loose singlet, and like some running shorts, and my bike shorts, they're quite short.
They're pretty good.
They're quite short, and I thought, because the Vanuatu people are very conservative, you know, so
they all wear dresses down to their knees.
Down to their knees,
shorts
and
to their
then
knees.
T-shirts and stuff like that. So, but because Port Vila is a tourist destination, there's lots of cruise ships that come here. So I just figured they're probably used to, you know,
seeing a few kneecaps.
So I'm just going running, so I'll just put my little shorts on and go for a run. And I was just thought of it as a social experiment, and I was watching everyone's reactions to my legs, and the older ladies, they didn't even look at me. The women, they didn't even look at me. The men, they would kind of like peek looks at me like that, but they weren't, you know, they pretty much wouldn't look at me either. So I thought, oh, I shouldn't be wearing these shorts. All right, so the next day I went for a run, and I put on these full-length leggings down to my ankles. All the older ladies were saying hello to me as I was running past. I was like, hello, hello back to them. Everyone was really friendly, but...
How friendly were the men?
The men, my God, they were gawking. Like, there's like 7 of them sitting on a bench. They were all leaning over backwards and leaning out like that past each other. They weren't afraid to look at me either. So I actually felt more comfortable wearing the little shorts.
Snapping necks, babe.
Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah, very hilarious.
Yeah, I think they all thought I was crazy as well, running in the heat. But
yeah. Yeah, so what else do you want to talk about? You're the boss.
Yeah, I don't know. We could talk about, I don't know.
Alright, well, it appears that we might have been a little bit stuck, so we're hoping to fill up this time with questions in the live feed. We could have just had a bit of a chat and let it free throw a little bit, but...
I don't know.
I guess we can't really free throw it since no one's asking any questions. What's that, mate? Nah.
I don't even know. Have you got any questions for me?
Nah.
What's for dinner?
Yeah, what's for dinner? Nah, I think that's about it. So we've covered quite a few topics there, and yeah, we hope that helps. It sucks a little bit that we couldn't do the live feed, but we thought we'd give you something anyway, at least, because we're really excited about doing the live feed and through the internet, and then like we've so many problems that we had and everything. But
thanks to everyone that stuck with us. There were some people that were there through the 3 tries that we did this morning and yesterday's try as well. So
thank you very much. You know, we'll definitely try to do another one. We'll be searching around at the hotels now. We've done a couple today, but we'll search more hotels to see if we can't find a good solid landline where we can plug in. And because we were plugged into the landline today, but it still didn't have the power.
Yeah, so we'll just keep trying, and then hopefully one day we can actually do a proper live chat, because we really want to. We want to answer all of your questions.
Yeah,
and,
it's actually quite fun.
Yeah, it is really fun.
yeah, it's really quite fun.
All right. Well, we'll just show you a quick video of what's coming up next on Sailing Nandji, and
then we'll call it quits. Cheers, legends.
See ya.
You.
Coming up next on Sailing Nandji, we find the experts to help diagnose our motor issue. We swim with friends at the Cascade Waterfall, and we bring our mate Chris on Nandji, the first time he's ever been on a sailboat.